lot of adoptees may not have grown up with access to spaces that, increase our sense of adoption literacy or adoptee consciousness, adoption awareness. So, as adults, we're kind of learning this stuff on our own. We're co-creating a language together. In a group context, community context like this, we're really actively engaging and being mindful and attending to our well-being together. Whatever your background is, maybe you have conflicting feelings about the realities of adoption or your personal adoption experience. Maybe you're passionate about raising awareness in your relationships or outward in the community, some of these systemic institutional realities that are happening and unfolding as we speak. Maybe you're just kind of dipping your toes into the water and figuring this stuff out like right now. What are some ways that we can reduce the amount of worry and shame and guilt and confusion that we may experience on a day-to-day basis? How do we reduce that, hold it together over time even, and just feel accepted about where I am, but also invest in that best version of yourself in the way that we show up for those that we love and the people around us. And so a space like this in the Adoption Literacy Emotional Wellbeing Summit is a space for folks with different backgrounds. We all kind of come together. We're learning from one another. There's some gently guided material that I introduced through the recently published book, Adoptee's Journey, but also just my training as a mental health professional to give you the resources that I have, resources that I wish I had, certainly as a youth, but also as an adult. And we sit with that together. And so these are easily consumable, easily digestible, practical sort of applications and tools and strategies that we can look at in real time in the context of interactive activities and visualizations, journaling, and sharing with one another, but also easy to do projects and assignments, things that you can be putting into practice in between our meetings. And then when we kind of come back to each workshop, we check in and see how that goes. And so over the course of the summit, maybe we're going from strained self-care routines or tensions in relationships, or we're just sort of, introducing some of the material and you're trying to make sense of it. Feels like you're drinking from a fire hose, but, being able to pick out the pieces that are important to you and ways that you can, tangibly take action. We're growing and we're developing that over the course of the summit so that by the end, you're able to check in on that personal growth framework. Maybe there's a reduced sense of guilt about some boundaries that you've practiced and expectations that you've communicated to others. Maybe there is greater communication. Maybe there's a deeper sense of self-awareness about what's important to you, your values, your capacities as a decision maker, as someone with autonomy and agency, problem-solving skills, relational skills, maybe even a heightened clarity about your tendencies and new comfort levels of trying new ways of being. Together, we're going to actively attend to our well-being. We're going to be mindful about the information that we consume, be intentional about how do we put that into practice after we sort of process that information, and really just going on this journey together as a collective, being able to hear from one another and stir each other on. And so all of that is folded into this ongoing process of revelation and responsibility. And that's where we're headed together over the course of the summit.